I had a meeting recently where I was with two other members of Congress that were helping me with the JFK investigation. And we actually met for the first time since 1990 with the ambassador to the Russian government. And I bring that up because at the time of the JFK assassination, the KGB had actually come forward with their own independent investigation, and they actually gave it at Kennedy's funeral to U.S. officials. We never got those documents, and it's my belief that the CIA actually destroyed that information and evidence because it would have confirmed what the KGB. And mind you, at the time, JFK was actually in talks with the president of Russia at that time. And his perspective is that he actually wanted to do a joint mission between the U.S. government and the Russian government to the moon. And there are aspects and divisions within the intelligence community. You obviously saw the Cold War was happening. They wanted war in Cuba. They wanted war with Russia. So for them to be able to say that Kennedy, who was not a communist, but that he was a communist sympathizer, and how dare he talk to these dirty communists. I mean, that in itself would have given them any ammunition to turn a blind eye or at least not fully figure out who assassinated Kennedy. And even just having this conversation, to be able to develop that dialogue, the end result of that meeting was the Russian government agreed to release their investigation onto JFK that the previous congressional task force in the 90s had tried to obtain from the Russian government, and they said no. So they agreed to release that, and they'll be posting it publicly for the American people to go through later on this fall.
Have you seen it yet?
I haven't.
No.
So I'll be seeing it at the same time everyone else does.
What do you think is in there, if you had a guess?
So when I was talking to the ambassador, he's actually a history buff too. And so he had actually said that the Russian government, when Oswald was actually in Russia, had done a psychological profile because they thought, they're like, is this guy part of American intelligence? Like, what's his story? And they thought he was basically nuts. And apparently he tried to go hunting when he was out there, and they were observing him, and he couldn't shoot for shit. So they're like, he didn't meet our psychological profile. Then he shows up to the Russian embassy in Mexico City with a gun, and they're like, what the hell is going on? Granted, I'm going to take it with a grain of salt because it's still, it was written by the KGB. But at the end of the day,
for sure,
we have a good mosaic that's been put together with at least the documents that have been released with this administration.